And we are back with the final part of Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. And what will likely be the last brush with this franchise for this channel for the foreseeable future.
I began to notice something. In the 4 parts of the Thievius Raccoonus recovered so far, several of the pictures depict a shadowy owl-like figure, which looks very similar to the police images of the mysterious Clockwerk. Is this a strange coincidence, or is there something I'm missing?
So yeah, this is, we've already done Sly 2 and 3, now we're back to doing Sly 1. And I'm probably, for many reasons, we'll probably never do Sly 4. At least I can't see myself doing it, so yeah, this is it. Feels a little melancholy, but it's, you know, it's cool. I remember this mission giving me a lot of trouble as a kid. It can be difficult. Right here, being able to take out these rocks early really helps, and these Robo-Hawks here can be very difficult to take down. Just try and shoot them down as soon as you can see them start to go in for the dive. But yeah. I will say, in regards to Sly 4, I mentioned it, I do like the detail that in all of the, whenever you go back to different time periods, that you can always see Clockwerk in the background just watching. I do like that detail. That was a good one. But yeah, this final chapter of Sly 1 takes a bit of a different structure. Kind of, I feel like Sly 3 took inspiration from it, in that it's entirely linear, just one mission after the other, right up to the final boss. Sly 2 is the only game where the final level was an actual regular hub like the rest of the game. Yeah, for this part right here, you might as well just shoot blindly until you see one of the hawks start to glow to go in for a kill. Like right there. Because if you aim for something, you'll miss. If you just shoot randomly, you're bound to hit something.
Nice shooting, Sly! Looks like we're in the clear.
Murray, that cave doesn't look tall enough for the turret to make it all the way through.
So right there, they break off the turret, and even though they have the blueprints, they never feel the need to rebuild it, ever.
The only way to unlock it is to analyze at least 60 of those hanging computers.
Would have been easy to get at them if Murray hadn't thrashed our new turret.
Yeah, won't be a problem. I can hack the computer's connection code.
That's an oddly, like, accusatory line from Sly. Like, I don't feel like in any of their other games he points the finger of blame for things going wrong, ever.
Hitting the square button if anyone tries to keep you from those computers.
So, this is another one where I remember having a lot of trouble. This one was hard. And they replay that line of Bentley's every time you fail. And so I heard that, Murray, there's only many times. But yeah, they conveniently you need 60 and there's only 119 up there. So very convenient numbers all around. If there's one problem here, it's the camera. You don't always have the viewpoint you need to see where free computers are, where the fire slugs are. I'm trying to think of any like particular strategy for these. Probably just run around and whatever you happen to see, take care of it. If you see a computer, hit it. If you see a slug, whack it. But you know, right here I'm doing all right. You know, I've got 35. They're not quite to 30 yet, but they're catching up. The best is when a computer lands directly on top of the van. But yeah, I was not expecting how short this final chapter is when all my screw-ups are edited out. So this was originally going to be 2 parts, just like all the other chapters, but then it ended up being way, way too short. Almost got it. There it is.
Now we have enough data to open the security doors. Just past them is the control room to Clockwerk's Death Ray Tower. I think it's time for some Cooper thieving and sabotage. Don't you think, Sly?
This is a nice evil lab fortress for Clockwerk. It feels very classic villain, like,
Hold on.
I don't know,
She looks trapped.
I don't know what exactly the aesthetic is, but
It's a misunderstanding. We've got
it's very iconic.
Crazy Sly. Clockwerk probably stuck her there to trap you.
But if I don't do anything, Carmelita's doomed. Besides, stealing just won't be any fun without her.
Sly, your ridiculous raccoon logic sends shivers up my shell. But if you're determined to go through with this, that barrel will undoubtedly help, though I have no idea how you'll get up there.
Dude, a spire jump here, a rail slide there. I've done this a million times.
In this game, Bentley seems a lot more reluctant to help Carmelita. Obviously, Sly's the one most interested in it, but he's like, dude, why would we help out a police officer? This makes no sense. And I'm like, she probably hates Clockwerk as much as any of us at this point. She'd probably help us. So this is one of the rare times that these, like, gimmicks return, because now we have the pressure floors from Raleigh's hideout here just for, like, a second. And also, I can't believe that that spotlight back there didn't see me, but oh well. But yeah, they bring this back this one time. So yeah, right here, you have to be real patient with these spotlights, how they keep turning around, and I wasn't always terribly patient as a kid, so this part could really screw me up. But it's not bad, just sit, wait, be patient, and it'll be fine. So I think that... Yeah, so right there, what's supposed to happen when he does that swing, it's supposed to do that, like, ding animation that happens when he hits a vault, but sometimes it doesn't trigger.
You sentimental fool. Empathy has always been...
They really didn't have any other animations for Carmelita than just shaking her fist, did they? It would have been nice if she was also able to, like, double over or whatever, or just do something other than acting like she's mad at Sly. Okay, this is the worst one. This one usually gives me a lot of trouble, and this is the one where I'm most like, man, why is it that I only can have a lucky charm on the first try, you know? It's very easy to get overwhelmed in this level, and then there's these red shuriken things that go at you. I remember on our first playthrough all those years ago, I had a lot of trouble getting past this part. But I was fortunately, I think, able to do this first try here, partially because of the horseshoe that Bentley has there on his back. Yeah, I messed up. So yeah, first time you get a mulligan, but no other time. Fortunately, you do have health. So, you know, Bentley has 5 hits before he dies, or 1 hit from the shuriken. Because without this would probably be impossible. At least outside of, like, speedrunners. Oh, I guess you have 6 hits. Oh, never mind. I didn't get it on my first try. Alright. Cut to the successful attempt. You have some... I think the problem is that you have some real momentum that you don't really have in all of the other hacking minigames in later games, even though it's fundamentally the same twin-stick shooter thing. This is the only time I can think of where you go from one job straight back into the other. It's a weird little thing.
I don't get it, Cooper. I've hunted you for years, tried to throw you behind bars, but when you get a chance to leave me in a cage, you set me free. Why?
Carmelita, we may be on opposite sides of the law, but you're not my enemy. Now, the homicidal robotic owl that built this death ray and nearly gassed us to death, that guy's on my list.
I see your point. All right. Until Clockwerk and his evil schemes are destroyed, I suggest we work together.
Together at last.
Right there, I believe that, again, he's supposed to do that, like, vibration animation from hitting the robo-owl because it's metal, but it didn't do it again.
Don't worry, Ringtail. I'll cover you while you get it back. If you can, make your way to the top of the death ring. I stashed my jetpack there before Clockwerk nabbed me.
Now that we're a team and all, I hate to leave your side.
Hold on. This truce is only temporary. Once we beat Clockwerk, I'm coming after you.
Really?
Well, maybe I'll give you a 10-second head start.
Alright, so this level can be a little difficult, but there are a few tricks to make it easier. And right here, I believe if you take out that... Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about the slug on the other side. So right there, I was able to take out that slug before he took out the gear, so I could skip that one. So right, it's just useful if you can like memorize the pattern, so you can hit the slugs before they get to Sly, because they move fast. Again, these owls are can be difficult, but just be ready for them, and it shouldn't be too bad. Carmelita can shoot really fast. So right here, here's a trick. Don't shoot the one Sly's in front of. Go ahead and shoot all of the other ones, and then you won't have to keep having Sly stop and wait while he gets targeted by another fire slug. So now he can just make a run for it. I'm not even sure if they can catch up to him.
Nice job, Raccoon.
Yeah, when you cut out the hub world, these levels go by real quick.
Where's Carmelita's jetpack? Right where she said it would be. The magnetronic support field for the death ray got destroyed as you were making a run for your cane. You'd better hurry. This whole thing is about to fall apart.
I'm on it.
So what exactly was Clockwerk planning to do with this death ray? Like, yeah, it's big, but it's not, like, that big. The only thing that it could see is whatever he can see from the crater of this volcano, the caldera, and I guess that would be, like, terrorizing whatever village happens to be near it. Seems like a lot of effort for very little upside. I'm not sure what the point of this thing is. But yeah, so this right here, you just jump over the these little obstacles. It's way too long to try to wait them out. This little final platforming segment can be a bit difficult, mostly because you're under time pressure, because, yeah, you are sinking into the lava. And, like, that one right there, you have to wait for. And this is an example of where the game can get mixed up with which point you want to be attaching to, so that can get you into trouble. But I would say that if you reach about this point, you're probably in the clear. Although I think I have died a couple of times where these points did go into the lava and I just didn't have enough time. Yeah, here it is. Alright, on to the final boss. So I know a lot of people really don't like the jetpack segment here at the end, and I will admit that I would have preferred the final boss to be more core gameplay, but I don't think it's that bad.
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting the day when I will finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
Sly! My missile.
That is absolutely true. That's the main plot point in Sly 2. That, apparently hate truly is the path to immortality, which is kind of a depressing thought in the Sly universe. So yeah, just wait for Carmelita to shoot him and then shoot where she shot. Although, yeah, right there, sometimes his, like, parts of him can go in front of other parts. I do like the little symbols. Again, all the boss faces for the boss meters in this game.
Nice shooting, Sly! You got him! Wow, that's one tough owl.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family. You must have known my father had a son.
It's interesting right here that they decided to have this happen where there's the death ray piece right in front of them, so you can't really see his legs.
The Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father.
Can't say kill.
Will be erased, and the only master thief will be Clockwerk.
And of course, these things made a reappearance in the Sly 2 Clockwerk fight. I still think Clockla is a stupid name. If it wasn't a stupid name, that whole concept would have been better, but I mean, seriously, Clockla. This is mostly just more of the same. Just wait for dodge attacks, wait for Carmelita's shot, and then shoot it. I'm not really sure what I would have wanted out of a final boss, but I'd say that it wasn't until Sly 3 that we got a really good final Sly Cooper boss with Dr. M. Like, that fight is pretty difficult, but it's doing all of your regular main game combat stuff. At least it ends with a platforming section right here.
You've got to get to his head and destroy it before his auto...
I am.
Sorry, Bentley, gonna cut you off. So I really wanted to do this last segment without setting off the alarm, but I was unfortunately unable to, so oh well. But a little trick here, you can spire jump onto these things. Yeah, I should have gone to the left on that last jump. Oh well. And I do really like this finale here, where we jump up on his back and just beat the crap out of his face as it falls to pieces. It's honestly kind of impressive from a technical level. Nope.
It took some tricky maneuvering, but I managed to snatch that last piece of the Thievius Raccoonus from Clockwerk's claw. I had taken down each member of the Fiendish Five: Raleigh, Mugshot, Ms. Ruby, the Panda King, and finally Clockwerk. I'd beaten them all one by one and reclaimed my birthright. Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals. I know this hasn't been easy for them, yet they stuck with me through it all. Murray, boy, it took a lot of guts for him to get out in the field with me. I know he was scared, but he's got more heart than anyone I've ever known. And thank goodness for Bentley. Without his expertise, I'd have never found my way off that rooftop in Paris.
Developer in the computer, I'm sure.
A guy couldn't ask for a better gang of friends. Who could ever forget the lovely Carmelita? Looks like we're not going to be friends anymore. Now that Clockwerk's death ray is out of commission, we're back to playing cops and robbers. I thought for sure she was going to slap the handcuffs on me right then and there. But instead, she was true to her word and gave me that 10-second head start.
So I distinctly remember this as being the first time as a kid where I saw something where, I'll give it just a second.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw something like romantic where I was like, oh, that was nice, and I wasn't like, ew, gross, kissing, because that was the age I was at when I first played this. And you know, I really liked their connection. It was cool. Felt like I grew up just a little bit when I saw this cutscene.
I hate to tell you this, Sly, but the Thievius Raccoonus isn't fully restored. You're gonna have to go back and unlock all the vaults to find the pages you're missing. There is some good news, though. A friend of mine...
So right there, I cut out a credit roll because we'll be seeing it again in a minute, so... Yeah, so after the credits roll the first time, you get this, which... So apparently, the Japanese version of this game, the opening and ending cutscenes, and just those ones, were reanimated by what appears to be an anime studio. And so, yeah, if you have the Japanese version, this is what starts off the game. And you can see that there are some pieces of art from the original cutscene that are there. That they reused, but yeah, I have no idea the reason why. And you can, it's I don't think it's unlockable in the game, but you can go online and find the Japanese ending cutscene. But all the other ones in the middle of the game are the original cutscenes from the you know, English version. So yeah, I really have no idea what led to this decision for the Japanese version. And when I first played this, this was years and years before I became an anime fan, so it was just like, oh, well, okay, I guess, you know, Billy's like, Japanese friend, I guess this is Japanese version of something? I don't know, I didn't know what to think of it. Sly definitely has a much younger feel here, and that I've never liked that shot of Carmelita. She looks weird, but like, yeah, Sly looks more like a teenager in this shot here than the more, you know, 20s that you get everywhere else in the game. The impression you get. All right, so we have to head back to Panda King's fortress to let's see, duel by the dragon in order to get that last vault. Now, here's a little tip right here. As I go up, do not, when Bentley says press circle to enter the vault code, do not press circle until he is done. Wait the whole time. There. Because I have pressed it before and the game soft locks. It just leaves you here. And I think if you put in the code correctly, you can move forward, but otherwise, Sly's just sitting here and Bentley never pops up to give you the code.
Amazing! Colonel Cooper's time stopper technique. Press the triangle button and execute a flashbang that will stun all guards in the world for a few seconds.
To the game's credit, you actually can use this ability, because there are the Master Thief sprints, which are basically just time trials for each level. I don't think I have ever done a single Master Thief sprint because I never bothered, and they can be kind of difficult.
To its original state. The first time I held the whole thing under my arm since I was 8 years old. The same weight that all my ancestors had felt beneath their arms as they had passed it on. Although, while other family members may have been great thieves, they all inherited the book. I got a chance to earn it.
But yeah, collect all the pages of the Thievius Raccoonus and you get this final true cutscene.
And become a master thief along the way. The time had come for me to chronicle my own adventures into the great book. This is gonna be fun.
Alright, and that's it. That's Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. And it's a little melancholy, like I mentioned earlier, to finally be here. We've done all 3 games, and, you know, this was all those years ago when Wesley was like, hey, you know, we should do some playthrough stuff. We can do it. And I suggested that Sly Cooper would be a great game to do it for, and we did the first game. We got partway through Sly 2, and we had no idea what we were doing, and then he kept being like, hey, are we ever going to get around to that? For years and years and years, until finally I was just like, yeah, let's try it. And I'm not even sure what was holding me back all that time. I think part of it was just not having a good way of recording video or editing video, and that once I finally found DaVinci and was like, oh, this works great. But yeah, I think that Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus still holds up very well to this day. It's not, you're not going to get quite as much out of it as you would Sly 2 or 3, but it's definitely worth your time. Certainly if you're a Spyro fan, I think you might find a lot to like in this first game. The later 2 are definitely grew up with their audience a little bit better, but I have nothing but respect for this first game, and I still think it's fun to this day. And we get this nice little stinger right at the end, which actually does get followed up on in Sly 2. But yeah, thank you so much for being here with our journey through the original Sly trilogy. Next up, we are going to be doing Wario World on the GameCube, so see you then.